What's up everybody, Matt Nuzzo here at Wing Hole. Today we got some exciting news. We got the team from North here rigging up a boatload of gear. What's up? Say hi, Mike.
Hi.
Mike, super rep. We also got Hugh, who's one of the designers, Steve Calder, one of the designers. Who's working on some space age materials and stuff. But today we want to go over the new North MA series, medium aspect. So these things look pretty fresh. We're going to start with the 1350, then go on to 1250 and change it up, try some of their boards, try some of their new wings, get out in the water, see how these things go. And then there's Matty Aiken, the legend. Phew, session time. Check these things out. Not too bad. The new Seek, flat off the tail, real super hard rails. It's probably going to release from the water really quickly. This is a 1350 MA, 270 tail. This is their full carbon rig, so carbon mass, 72 centimeter. We're just in the sound. I think it's a 70 fuse. Yeah, 70 fuse. So with this setup, you know, I'm looking for some performance, but a lot of lift, ease of use. It's fairly light, but we're gonna go out and give this thing a rip and see how it goes. Looks pretty nice looking wing. Hugh's coming out on the 1200. Thing looks nice. Sick setup, same size board, same size wing. So we're gonna just kind of try them all out and go back to back. Yeah, the full carbon fuse, definitely a nice nice finish on this stuff. Not the best pumper, but pretty easy. I think on a smaller board it would pump a lot better, but definitely goes pretty well. All right, a little on water action here. So we've got that 1350. I think it's really fun, very easy. Definitely made for the bigger rider. You know, you can tell that it's not gonna be the fastest wing. I'm 165 pounds. I think I'm gonna like the 1200 a lot better. That's why I'm gonna go grab Hughes over there. Take the 1200, switch up. You know, this one is a little draggy, but the stability is really just amazing. That's why it's nice about this is having the longer fuse, a bigger tail. Really just gives you a lot of stability. Pumping was okay. There's a little humming. I think, like I said, with a smaller board, I'd be able to pump it a lot better for foil surfing and stuff. And again, this is just my kind of first ride, but the whole rig as itself, like full carbon mass, full carbon fuse, carbon wings, and the price point is really affordable for the full carbon rig. So I think this is going to be super popular for us, and this is going to be kind of like the go-to, like, you know, anyone bigger rider or entry level wants to get into foiling, this is going to be a really great setup. Also, this board here, you can see that big flat tail comes off the water nice and easily. It's a little bit heavier than some of the boards I've been riding, but it still feels good under your feet. Also a little bit bigger than the boards I'm riding. I think this one's like what's that, 98 liter. So 5.1 98 liter, that's a lot of volume. You know, I'm normally riding a 60 liter board, so again, I'm going against boards that are a lot smaller for most of the time what I'm riding. Deck pad feels good, board feels good. Overall, nice first impression on this new North stuff. Time for the 1200. Okay, Hugh was just enlightening me about pre-preg. Talk to me, Hugh.
Yeah, so all of our wings are made with pre-preg, and so what you get is a much more consistent lamination. So if you're wet laminating, then you're having to mix up resin, and it's up to the person assembling it for how much they put in, and so you get a big variation in wings. But with the pre-preg, it comes with the most optimal amount of resin in it, and so you're going to get a much lighter wing and a much more consistent wing.
Nice. And then what about the you're telling me about this geo-lock, like how the mass fits to the fuse?
Exactly, yeah. So this is quite unique to us, and so you've got a tapered fitting from the mast to the fuselage, and so when you do the screws up, the screws are just holding it in position. They're not taking any load. So all of the load has been taken between that tapered fitting, and so that just gives a much stiffer connection than a lot of our competitors.
Awesome, that's great, man. Yeah, and you guys having any issues with like fuselages breaking, the full carbon fuselage, anything like that with you guys that are like doing huge errors or anything?
We haven't yet.
No?
Yeah, touch wood, it's been really good on the warranty front.
Mast is solid too, no breaking, mast
no
breakage.
breakages on the mast at all, so
Cool.
things are looking good.
That's awesome, man.
So yeah, for this year our standard packages all come with a 700 fuse, so that's just giving you a lot more stability. You know, the thing just tracks so much better.
Yeah, and then you got a 600 and then a smaller tail too, right?
That's right. Yeah, so we've got 3 different stabilizers. We've got a 210, a 270 comes standard, and a 320. So for most people, the S270 is a big step up from your original S1. So if you had old gear from North, all you got to do is just buy an S270 stabilizer, and that's going to be a lot more efficient. It's going to give you a whole new feeling setup.
Sick. From the words of designer. He knows a heck of a lot more about this stuff than I do. So let's go try the 1200. We'll get some more tech from the designer. Way to go, Hugh. It's very easy. Not really, just kind of stays on foil. Doesn't pump the best, but I think again it's a lot of that big board issue. Can just smoke me. Good times. Okay, so 1200. 1200 with a 270. Definitely very easy ride. So this is for someone that, you know, a beginner can ride these MAs no problem. This is a really nice size wing for my size rider. It goes quicker, obviously quicker, does everything you expect. Quicker than the 1350, faster than 1350. No, it's still not like smoking fast, but again, they've got their high aspect foils for those. I think this one will be kind of like your silver bullet for someone my size if you had one foil. Like you could surf it, you could wake foil it, you can kite foil it, you can wing it, you can kind of do everything. Kiting might be a little bit big, but it still works really well. Very kind of balanced, smooth power output, like easy to take off and, you know, get going on the get going on foil. And then also pretty easy to switch my feet. I'm still a hack at switching my feet, and it made it really balanced and easy. A couple wipeouts, but overall really fun. This is kind of be like the bread and butter size for a guy my size. He was telling me something about the drop boxes and the tail shape on this, which was pretty interesting. I was testing dropping, like hitting the board down, like just seeing how it kind of goes down and hits the water. So like straight on, it bounces off pretty well. Also, like with this higher volume in the tail, like you don't have to shuffle your feet around. Where you start is where you kind of ride your feet. So you don't have to start with your feet forward and then move them back, which is a pretty cool thing. I did feel like when I come and touch down a little, it'd be kind of like a little slower to retake off. It does take off easily, but it does there's a little bit of contact with all this flat spot back here. So, but overall, like huge improvement on the boards, and it's just really super balanced board. Again, it's a pretty big board, bigger than what I'm used to riding, but it's, you know, 5'1", 98 liters, so it just makes it, again, super easy. I think North's doing a great job of making their products for people to use. Like, hey, this is for people to go wing foiling and to have some fun, not struggle on gear that they aspirationally want to ride. So let's talk to Hugh, and he'll give us a rundown on some of the stuff on the board. Okay, Hugh, talk to me about this board.
All right, so for this year our boards have all got shorter, so another, if you were on say a 5.5 last year, you'll now be on a 5.1, which is just, everyone wants a shorter board, right?
Yeah.
Easy to travel with. We've just added, we used to have these big channels in the back, we've taken them out, and it's like Matt said, you can just, where you start with your feet is where you ride with your feet. There's
That's
no,
so huge,
no shuffling
like,
or anything.
yeah, like 'cause a lot of boards you have to be way forward to get them going, and then move back to be in the balance point. And so it just, for any level rider, it just makes that easier.
For sure. And we do have a tiny bit of rocker in the back here. It looks quite flat now, but there is a bit of rocker which will help you get up on that early planing. And then on the front we've added a little more rocker on the nose as well to just make it a bit more forgiving with this double concave.
Cool.
And our drop box is pretty unique in the market, so all you have to do is just loosen off your screws, slide it forward, and it pops out. So there's no having to, you know, thread your nuts in there first and lining them all up.
Right.
Those days are gone. So
yeah, it's so much easier, like particularly with a mast that has like the holes that you don't have slots to put the hardware through. It makes such a huge difference to leave the hardware in the mast. You never lose your mounting hardware, it's always there, and then the drop box allows you to do it. I was asking why they were putting the drop box inserts in the front, like where you drop it in, because I was like, hey, you kind of lose like a centimeter or so where you can move the mast forward. Obviously this is a little bit far forward for me, like I would move it back just like a half cm for my own personal setup.
So you're probably more around the 80 or
just
less,
even like a half.
So you'd be in the middle. I'm a little heavier, so I guess I set them up for me.
No, that's cool. It
so
feels
it's got
good.
the little digits here which you can line up.
Yeah,
we did make the box a bit longer this year, so you can go further forward.
Nice.
But if we had the holes at the rear and you were to hit like a rock or something, then that would slide the mast back and you'd have the potential for it to come out.
Right.
But seeing it's in the front, you're never going to come out.
Never going to lose the mast. Well, that's good, particularly if you just kook out like I do a lot and don't tighten the screws off or whatever. You know, I presume because these things are, I presume these foils do float because they're all carbon and everything. But just in case you don't want it drifting off, and you could at least limp your way home if you do hit something, the mast slides back. But awesome, man. Well, thanks for the tech.
You had a good time on that 1200.
That 1200 is sweet, man. It's so easy.
How about we just fire it up a bit and try you on the 1050?
1050, let's do it. What's tails on this one? 270?
We've still got the 270,
cool.
so
that's the best way.
Option could be for you to get a bit more speed out of that. That sort of wing would be to put our 210 on the back.
Nice. So
that's just going to give you a bit more pace. You're going to have a bit of a looser feeling. So someone who buys that setup as standard, they've got room to go either way. All North parts are all backwards compatible and forwards compatible.
Thank you for that.
So if you'd bought anything in the past, you can upgrade.
Good.
And if you buy this, then you can always, something we bring out in the future will also work on this. So
that's awesome. That's thinking, and that's why investing in a North foil, you're gonna enjoy it and have years to come as you continue to progress. So all right, time for the 1050. Let's do this. Nice. Very nice. So 1050, super fun. Just an overview on the MAs, like stock setup, just very user friendly, very easy, really high quality carbon for what you're getting. You're still gonna want to grease the bolts and stuff. Well, a couple things they did was they mark all the hardware, where the wings go. You mark out like what piece of hardware you need. It's all M8, every piece of hardware is M8, so it's super strong. I'll use Torque 40 tool. So you know, they put their time into testing and making a product that's really good. They also made it affordable. You know, there's some of the things that, like, you know, hey, it whistles a little bit. You know, I think you can go as high performance as you want. Seems to be strong enough for what I'm doing. I'm not gonna be breaking any of this stuff. Seems lightweight, the boards are good. They're, you know, it's gonna be a little different style of board. I did find them a little sticky, you know, just kind of a little bit of suction with all this flat stuff on the bottom, but overall, like, they bounce off the water really well. The deflection works well. Overall, as a package, like, North is putting their head to this and really making some great products. So fired up with North stuff. We're going to keep reviewing it and testing some of this gear out. If you have questions, give a call to the shop, 252-987-6000, or reach out online, realwatersports.com.